Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. After over 20 years, it's back. And it's angry. I'm talking about the all-new 2020 Toyota Supra. Front and the overall design of the Supra is carried over from the FT1 concept that we saw a few years ago. So this long snout in the front, very arrowhead type design, very sleek LED headlamps, very aggressive lower part of the bumper, although this is just blocked off, it's more cosmetic. And of course, this singular front air dam just brings the car in a very aggressive, forward-pointing design. The platform, as we all know by now, is shared with the BMW Z4. So what that means is the track is fairly wide and the wheelbase is not that large. So this allows the car to be very planted, but at the same time provides a lot of agility. I really like these 19-inch wheels with the dual-tone color scheme. And look at those big brakes and the red calipers. Looks really great. As we go further down the side, in the bottom, there's a side skirt to help make the car that much more aerodynamic. Of course, proper two-door, two-seater coupe body style with the sloping roofline that just tapers away to this really small, subtle spoiler at the back. I also really like this swooping shoulder line over the rear wheel arch. Overall, it's a great, purposeful design. This view of the car is one of my favorite. I think it just looks so athletic, so muscular, almost reptilian. The roof has also got these nice haunches. The spoiler is integrated into the back and is also very pointed towards the rear. These three-dimensional tail lamps also give this car a nice, athletic, very intricate design. Down here, the rear diffuser is also really aggressive, very sporty, and of course very functional as well in terms of aerodynamics. Two large exhaust tips, and of course, I love that race car style light as well. And just makes me so happy to see this name and this logo back on a car again. What about you guys? Let's look inside the hood of the new Supra. Of course, it has to be a straight six, but now it's a twin scroll turbo straight six petrol engine, 3 liters with 335 horsepower and 365 pound-foot of torque, coupled with a 8-speed automatic transmission. That's the only option right now with paddle shifters. Of course, to rear-wheel drive with an active differential. This is also the same engine that we see in the Z4, so it's an engine that we know quite well. In fact, this kind of a inline-six BMW-derived engines are one of my favorite engines. I think they're really great, and we have to wait to see how this performs, but like I said earlier, it seems like we've already known this car for so long because there's been so much of teaser images. We've seen it on other events where it's been with a code name, but pretty much the same. So overall, we know what to expect from this engine, and it's very promising. So hopefully, once we get our hands on it, it will live up to the hype. Getting inside, the car just wraps itself around you. You feel like you're in a cockpit of a fighter jet. The front windshield is a bit narrow, but again, this is what we see in a lot of sports coupes. The windows on the side are also a little bit limited, and visibility out the back is also not the best, but it's a sports coupe. It's not terrible. It's very easy to live with. The steering wheel just looks great, very flat, very sporty, large paddle shifters. But there is this undeniable BMW-ness to the interior as well. Like, these knobs are very similar to all of the BMWs that we see. This floating instrument cluster over here. Of course, this is not a full production yet. This particular car, at least, is still a prototype, so a lot of these things don't work, but I know this is very similar to the BMW iDrive. It is. And including the toggle switch here and the controls, the center console are also very BMW-like, and that's no bad thing. I mean, why don't you share things from somebody who you know is much better at this, and it's just a great way of not having to reinvent the wheel. So we know this will work, we know it's intuitive, so I find that actually as a positive point. Apart from that, strict two-seater only, of course. But there is a very large, generous amount of loading area in the back. We'll try to open the boot and show you. Cup holders, there is no openable center armrest because the transmission tunnel goes right through here towards the rear. Sports seats are very snug. Side bolstering, at least in this variant, isn't that much. As you can see, it's there, but it's not incredibly protruding outwards. Neither is the base bolstering on the sides here. They're not that huge, so it is more comfortable. We'll have to see what kind of options are available later on, and if this is really insufficient for our track use or if it actually works quite well. But on the whole, it feels very purposeful. Materials are top-notch. Build quality is also really good. Soft plush materials. Technology is going to be very user-friendly. We can already anticipate that. Little bit of dashes of carbon fiber here. But overall, a very menacing, dark black, sporty interior. And that's the way I like it. So let's take a look inside the trunk. Not bad at all. Quite a large area, very rectangular, fairly deep. Goes in all the way to the cabin, as you can see down there. So it's easy access. You can reach over while you're in the car to grab some items if you need, if you have a backpack or some snacks. Below that, well, right now it's a bit restricted. I can't really open this, but I'm guessing there isn't really much below that. So this is a very usable space for a two-door sports coupe. You can't really ask for more, so good job. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We always post sneak peek pictures and videos, some special content, even special episodes that you can watch all for free, of course. And you can be the first before these videos even go online. And of course, we always post like these, for example, these stories. And you can tell us what you think, you can tell us what you want to see before we even get to the show and before we even start filming, and we can cater to your questions. So it's a great way to communicate with us, keep in touch, and see some more extra content. I'm here with Mr. Andrew. He's the Vice President for Toyota International. So he's going to tell us a little bit about the Supra. I mean, we're all super excited that the Supra is finally back, and it has, let's be honest, a lot to live up to. But I'm sure that on paper, at least, I've read the specs. We all know, what's really going on underneath. There's so much we know already. We feel like it's already been out for a while, but this is the official launch. So let me hear it. What's new?
Well, first of all, our company is headed by Akio Toyoda, who's probably the #1 car enthusiast in the world. And so it's great to have him as the president of our company because he personally spearheaded getting the Supra back. And getting it back in our lineup because it represents so much in terms of the passion of our company, our engineers, and frankly, our customers have been asking for this car back. So we're really excited to have it back in the lineup, but he is the guy behind this all. And so yesterday when we had our press preview, he was the one to introduce this car as I think very befitting given his role in this. So it is a straight six, inline six turbocharged with twin scroll turbocharger, active differential, and really you may think the inline six engine is sort of the heritage of Supra, and I think a lot of people do, so we feel good about that. But this car here is very agile. It's got what we think of the perfect balance between track width and wheelbase, and the overall size of the car is really sized for agility. This is probably one of the things that's most noteworthy about it compared to any previous generation of Supra, is the kind of agility that we are able to achieve, the right weight balance, the right kind of proportions for a sports car. So a lot of these things have driven the sizing of the vehicle. We've got tons of good technology stories, but I'd say the key, the heart of this car is the engine, the chassis, and that active differential to really help it carve around corners.
So is the active differential standard across, first of all, I know there's the launch edition and then there will be like a base edition and a more premium edition. Does that mean that perhaps the base edition, once this is already on sale, and would that mean that there's no active differential for that? Or the hardware is standard across all the models?
Our active differential is standard on this vehicle. So regardless of whether it's the launch edition or the other models.
So tell us a little bit more about the evolution of Supra as a brand, because it's been a while since we've had a Supra, and what were the key things that you guys wanted to keep the same, and what were the things you guys wanted to change from what the Supra was in the previous generation some time ago, and how has this kind of captured the essence but also driving the Supra brand into the future?
Well, I would say that one of the heritage elements of Supra, of course, is a very robust platform, a robust powertrain, and of course the aftermarket learned that very quickly, that they could do things to even customize the car, and still it was a very durable, great quality platform to work with. We wanted to keep those elements. We recognize that these days a sports car has to be even more well-rounded than before in terms of agility, not only straight line acceleration, but all of the aspects that bring into performance in the modern era. Good fuel economy, good refinement, so that we can live with it every day, and it's a pleasant car to drive. We wanted to keep some of the essence of Supra, but bring it into the modern era, and I think this story of more agility and handling is really where we particularly kind of moved the needle. I should also mention, in terms of our partnership, you asked me earlier about the partnership with BMW. We do have a respected partnership, and we respect one another and what we bring to the table. And so that's been also, I think, a good learning experience for our company. I work with a partner that's very well regarded in the engineering field, and to be able to develop this car, this is a great moment for us.
No, it is a culmination of two fantastic brands delivering one fantastic platform. And of course, while the substance might be similar, the taste is totally different between the Z4 and the Supra. And one last question before I let you go. So from now on, this is going to be the Gazoo Racing Supra. So you're kind of adding that moniker to separate it from Toyota altogether. Is there a reason behind that, or is it just temporary?
Well, the term GR Supra is really referring to Gazoo Racing. So that term GR Supra we are using because our company is very much involved in motorsports once again. We have a lot of our fans and our customers that are very happy to see Toyota back at a very high level of motorsports again. And so it's certainly a nod to that. It's a nod to our engineers who work on these products, and our organization that we've created actually to work on these vehicles. So that's why the term GR Supra.
Right. Fantastic. Andrew, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to drive this car. So hopefully you call me back and then give me the keys.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. Trust me, it's a great car.
The Supra will be launched here in the US in the summer, and the launch edition starts at around $55,000. Once that edition is over, then the standard 2 variants, in that the base variant will start at around $50,000. And for that, you get 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.1 seconds, 335 horsepower twin-scroll inline-6 petrol engine, rear-wheel drive, 50-50 weight distribution, and the promise of proper Supra pedigree and fun. Still remains to be seen how much it lives up to that. Hopefully I get my hands on this soon, and we can give you guys a full report on that.